Once upon a time, in a cozy little corner of the world, lived a mother pig with her 3 little sons. They were a happy family, but the day came when the piglets were old enough to venture out and build their own homes. With a loving hug and a basket packed with goodies, their mother waved them goodbye. Be good, be safe, and always be wary of the big bad wolf, she warned. The 3 little pigs, full of excitement and adventure, set off down the path, oinking happily, ready to make their way in the world. The first little pig was a cheerful fellow, but perhaps a bit lazy. He didn't want to spend too much time on hard work. As he trotted along, he met a farmer carrying a big bundle of straw. Aha, that's perfect, he thought. Please, sir, can I have some of that straw to build my house? The farmer kindly agreed. In just a few hours, the first little pig had built a lovely little house of straw. It wasn't the strongest house, but it was quick, and he was very proud of it. He danced around his new home, singing, "My house of straw is neat and new. I'm safe and sound. What can the wolf do?" The second little pig was a bit more practical than his brother, but he still liked to have fun. He walked a little further down the road and saw a man with a cart full of sticks. Sticks are stronger than straw, he thought. This will do nicely. He asked the man, "Excuse me, could I please have some of those sticks to build my house?" The man gave him a bundle, and the second pig got to work. It took him a whole day, a bit more effort than his brother's house, but soon he had a sturdy-looking house made of sticks. He admired his handiwork and sang, "My house of sticks is strong and tall. The big bad wolf won't get me at all." Now, the third little pig was the wisest and most hard-working of the 3. He knew that a house needed to be strong and safe to protect him from any danger. He walked much further down the road until he came across a bricklayer with a heavy load of red bricks. "This is exactly what I need," he said to himself. He went up to the man and asked politely, "Sir, would you be willing to sell me some of your bricks to build my house?" The man agreed, and the third little pig began his work. It was tough. He had to mix mortar, lay each brick carefully, and build a strong chimney. It took him several days of hard labor, but when he was finished, he had a magnificent, solid house of brick. He felt very secure inside and said with confidence, "My house of brick is built to last. Let the wolf huff and puff, he'll be outclassed." It wasn't long before the big bad wolf came sniffing around the neighborhood. He was big, he was bad, and he was very, very hungry. His sharp eyes spotted the little straw house first. He crept up to the door and knocked. Little pig, let me come in," he growled in a sweet-as-honey voice. The first little pig peeked through a gap in the straw and saw the wolf's big pointy ears. "Not by the hair of my chinny chin chin," he squeaked, his voice trembling. "Then I'll huff and I'll puff, and I'll blow your house in," roared the wolf. He took a deep breath and whoosh. He blew with all his might, and the straw house collapsed in a heap. The first little pig ran as fast as his little legs could carry him, all the way to his brother's house of sticks. The big bad wolf, licking his lips, followed the trail. He soon arrived at the house of sticks, where two very frightened pigs were hiding inside. He knocked on the wooden door. Little pigs, let me come in. The two pigs huddled together. Not by the hair of our chinny chin chins. They shouted back, then I'll huff, and I'll puff, and I'll blow your house in, bellowed the wolf. He took an even deeper breath and huffed and puffed. The house of sticks shivered and shook. With one more mighty blow, the sticks came tumbling down. The two little pigs squealed in terror and raced away, heading straight for their brother's brick house. They scrambled inside just as the big bad wolf arrived, now angrier and hungrier than ever. He pounded on the strong wooden door. Little pigs, let me come in, he snarled. All three pigs, now safe behind the sturdy brick walls, bravely shouted together, not by the hair of our chinny chin chins. The wolf laughed. You think this little house can stop me? I'll huff, and I'll puff, and I'll blow your house in. The wolf huffed. He puffed. He huffed and he puffed again and again. He blew so hard his face turned blue, but the brick house didn't even wobble. Not a single brick moved. The wolf was exhausted and furious, but he wasn't ready to give up. He was a cunning wolf. He had another idea. He climbed up onto the roof, planning to sneak down the chimney. Inside, the third little pig was just as clever. He heard the scrambling on the roof and knew exactly what the wolf was planning. Quick! He whispered to his brothers. Help me with this. They worked together to place a big pot of water on the fire they had burning in the fireplace. The water quickly began to boil and bubble. Just as the wolf started to slide down the chimney, thinking he had finally won, he landed with a giant splash right in the pot of boiling water. Yoo-woo, he howled, leaping out of the chimney covered in soot and steaming from head to toe. He ran off into the woods as fast as he could, never to be seen by the three little pigs again. From that day on, the three little pigs lived together happily in the strong brick house. The first two pigs learned a very important lesson, that taking your time and doing a job right is always worth it in the end. And they all lived safely and happily ever after. The story of the three little pigs reminds us all that hard work and preparation pay off, and it's always wise to build your life on a strong foundation. Thanks for listening, and don't forget to subscribe for more classic stories.